Welcome to Elite Dangerous, the Beginnings series. So we're going to step through like it says, the beginnings until you're on your own, till you feel comfortable, where you have kind of the basics of everything you feel like you need. And first, if you need to go through like graphics and audio and controls the best you can come back and change them. And this is a mandatory evaluation training in the beginning. So we'll go through that. They step you through it, but I'll throw in a few things that I would have wanted to know when I first started out. We start out with the Sidewinder, which is the smallest, cheapest ship.
Welcome to Morton Dock. Make yourself comfortable while we finish some preliminary ship checks. My name's Theo Acosta, and I'll be running your Pilots Federation evaluation. Most pilots assigned to me earn their license, so as long as you follow my instructions, you'll be a commander in no time. Oh, and before you ask, I may sound like an Imperial, but I'm actually from an independent system. Today we'll be covering the basics of flight control, combat, and frameshift drive use. This Sidewinder has been installed with a specialized computer that'll take control at certain points. Mostly you'll follow a series of objectives to guide your actions. These are shown in the info panel at the top right of the head-up display. Okay, you're good to go. Select auto-launch from the options ahead of you when you're ready.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship release confirmed. Auto-launch sequence underway.
The beauty of auto-launch is that you can relax and enjoy the view. One of the ways that technology allows us to appreciate the good things in life. Other applicants are departing for their own evaluations, but this isn't a race. Each of the coming stages can be completed at your own pace.
And the main thing is practice makes perfect. So it's okay if you don't get it the first time or the 100th time. Just keep doing it and eventually you'll get it.
Remarkable, isn't it? For so long humanity gazed up at the stars in wonder. We're not distracted by one of Earth's many wars. And now, we glide between them without a second thought. Here we are. Your first task is to demonstrate basic ship movements. A ship's trajectory is primarily controlled by pitch, yaw, and roll. Perform each of these now. Good. Now increase your throttle to accelerate forwards. Review your current objective and complete the required action to continue. Decrease the throttle to resume a stationary position.
Yeah, they wanted you to increase your throttle up toward the max, which is 99. Now he wants us to stop. So to bring it to
Your throttle can
zero.
also be pulled back from zero to engage reverse thrust.
See, we're going backwards now.
As before, push the throttle in the opposite direction to cease moving.
Now he wants us to go back to zero.
Inputs confirmed. Looks like you've got the hang of individual controls. Let's see if you can put them all together. Your next task is to guide your ship through a series of checkpoints. Head towards the course, following the target indicator. The course weaves through an
See
orbital
that where it
structure
says
and is
target?
designed for the novice pilot.
And you're not in a hurry. You can go at your own pace.
Accelerate through the first checkpoint when you're ready to start.
I'm not going to go real fast, because I want to make sure that you feel comfortable to say, I can do that.
And we're off. There's no time limit, so maintain a comfortable speed while you familiarize yourself with the controls.
Looking for the next green one. Had to find it. As he says, not a race.
Rolling and pitching together is the most efficient way of turning rapidly.
Watch those rails. So watch for the obstacles. And you can accelerate and decelerate based on your comfort level. And if everything goes wrong, you can just go back to the menu and go to options in the
It's
far
good practice
right.
to consider the angle and speed of your approach. See the blue marker beside the throttle gauge. This indicates the optimum turning speed.
And the options to the far right is a clear. So you can start completely over, especially at this point. And I am not a combat pilot. I am a trader explorer. I have double elites in trading and exploring. So, and I'm harmless in combat. So I'm just here to give you the basics and help you in the basic trading and exploring and how you can make money at it, to buy bigger and better ships and Everything's bought with credits. We have to help you get more credits. And see what you're getting yourself into, which is not too bad, and it's a lot of fun. It's fun flying a spaceship. And if you want to go into combat, you just go right ahead. No one's stopping you.
You're approaching a particularly sharp turn, so I advise slowing down to prevent any mishaps.
We're not going real fast right now anyway. We will slow down slightly. But your ship's not too big, it's pretty small. But again, if you have trouble, you can just go through it again and again until you feel comfortable. No rush.
Your ship's boost function greatly increases your speed, but use it wisely.
Just be ready when you press the boost. Probably the hardest part is learning the controls. So just take time to learn your controls.
That's the last checkpoint. The Sidewinder is an agile craft, and you handled it well. A new icon has appeared on the sensor display in the center of your dashboard. This represents a nearby beacon, which you'll soon scan as part of your evaluation. Target the beacon before we continue. You're going to use your ship's data link scanner to analyze the beacon, but you need to deploy hardpoints first.
Sys deploy. I use voice attack.
Good. Most external modules are installed on hardpoints, including weapons. Control is back with you. The beacon is relatively small, so you'll need to position yourself close to it.
Voice attack is a $10 program that binds keyboard combinations to voice. I'd recommend it. It's really nice. So we're on speed up. You see there on the right, data link scanner is what our primary trigger right now is set to. Our weapons, as you see out there, we're not set to them yet.
Your target must be within range and lined up in front of you.
You see data link scanner out of range.
You can scan the beacon now.
See the out of range went away.
Well done. The data link scanner is a versatile tool that connects with network interfaces and various data points.
It's also called encoding.
You need to move
Encoded
to another area of the
material.
star system to continue your assessment, pilot. Rather than travel for the next year using your thrusters,
Yeah, you see
can
that
employ the ship's frame shift drive to increase
scanner
your speed
thing.
by a few orders of magnitude.
So we're going
First,
to go
ensure
over
that the
there.
ship is correctly secured.
It had a
Your landing gear, cargo scoop, and hardpoints must all be retracted.
hole in the middle. That means it was kind of behind you. Sys deploy.
When you're ready, throttle up and engage Super Cruise.
Frameshift drive charging.
So find where your super cruise is, not your hyperspace, but your
Ready
super
to
cruise.
engage. 4, 3.
And you see 240
One.
light seconds. That means it's within your system. If it's light years, it's usually outside of your system.
Good. You're now accelerating towards a velocity comparative to the speed of light, measured in c. Supercruise is used to navigate within a star system, allowing you to cover significant distances in minutes. Usually you'll retain control in Supercruise, but on this occasion your ship's computer is following a preset path. This is a good time to familiarize yourself with a couple of the cockpit panels available to you. In the top left of your HUD is the comms panel, which displays pilot communications and contacts across several channels. The top right is your info panel. Entries here mostly relate to your ship's status, computer messages, and events happening around you. Ah, there we go. Welcome to Lightspeed.
If it said light years, we would use hyperspace instead of super cruise. And again, I am not a combat pilot. So my grade on combat wouldn't be as good.
Watch the distance and speed markers on the dashboard. These are used to help you accurately disengage at your destination.
It's going to take us out of super cruise
Your
automatically.
next lesson will introduce the basics of combat. Several static and mobile targets will be provided around a decommissioned megaship. We'll also cover some situational information about weaponry and target tracking. And yes, you'll get to shoot those weapons you saw earlier.
And these are not expert targets that you're going to go against, so it's not as bad. If I can do it, you can do it. I assure you. See, they took us
Astronomical
out.
bodies have a gravitational effect on the FSD, reducing your ship's speed. The closer the body, the greater the effect.
It's around 1.0 mm is where it takes you out at.
The frameshift drive is disengaged. Welcome to the combat zone. Before you start shooting, however, try analyzing the megaship with a data link scanner.
Sys deploy. We have to deploy our weapons, and you see the data link scanner, and we're within range. I was pulling the wrong trigger.
Well done. It's often worth scanning objects you're unfamiliar with to learn more about them. Next, you need to activate your weapons by cycling to a different fire group. You'll notice that your weapons are now listed on your HUD. Fire groups allow you to manage your hardpoints efficiently. Let's begin the combat evaluation. Destroy several of the canisters. All weapons have an effective range, so you may need to move closer here. Thrusters are particularly useful for navigating around large structures. Why not give them a try? Your cannon will automatically reload until the ammunition supply runs out. Meanwhile, your laser will fire until the capacitor is depleted, at which point it will need to recharge. Try targeting the canister you're aiming at. Quota achieved. Let's dial up the challenge a notch, shall we? An unmanned craft has arrived nearby. These drones are used by the Pilots Federation as target practice, and they're quite harmless. To continue, bring the craft into your sights and open fire.
behind the building. Or behind this ship. Use your throttles.
Target destroyed.
Nice work. You may have noticed that multi-cannons are effective against unshielded targets. Another craft has arrived. This one is fitted with a shield generator. Helpfully, your burst laser is a thermal weapon, which excels at stripping away a target's shields. I recommend targeting your opponent during combat. Notice how your reticules move towards your target. Your ship's gimbaled weapons offer a degree of aiming assistance.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
Consider me impressed. Your final target
Don't
is
be
dropped into the
impressed.
area. This time your opponent will fight back, but its damage capability has been greatly reduced. Your target will not react until it registers shield damage. Engage when ready.
Under attack.
And your HUD display will get in your way. Use your throttle. Back and forth.
Under attack. Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
That was the last target. Even if you're planning on a peaceful career, understanding the
Peaceful.
basics of combat is vital for a pilot's long-term survival. For advanced combat information, you should refer to the
good
Pilot's
practice,
Handbook, which we'll cover in more detail soon. The next step of your evaluation involves a hyperspace jump to a neighboring star system. On this occasion, your ship's computer has selected your destination for you. We'll cover selecting destinations
See,
manually.
it says Lightyear.
The mass lock indicator on the bottom right of the dashboard is active. This means a large object is in close proximity, preventing you from engaging the FSD. To resolve this, throttle up to move move a safe distance away from the megaship. Remember, you can boost to temporarily increase your ship's speed. The mass lock indicator has gone out. When you are ready to travel light years in seconds, engage the FSD.
And see on the radar to the left, that 36, that's your heat. And it really needs to be under 43 probably before you can jump into Super Cruise and hyperspace.
Cannot comply.
You'll need to retract your hard points before entering hyperspace.
Sys deploy. See, I have them linked to my voice attack.
Frameshift drive charging.
And then it'll want you to accelerate to maximum in a moment.
Ready to engage.
So accelerated to max.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
And voice attack is just a $10 program that you can find that allows you to map keyboard to voice. Do not hit accelerate until you're pointing away from the star. And they're not letting us accelerate anyway.
Technology has made the task of leaping between star systems appear trivial. Never let this simplicity distract from the marvel humanity has achieved. Your next stop is Quello Station. This time we'll employ the Super Cruise Assist module to guide your approach. Open the external interface panel to your left and select the Navigation tab.
Okay, Super Cruise align with
With
target.
the destination selected, throttle up and aim towards your target. The compass to the left of the sensor display will help you orient yourself. Good.
And then it will
Your
take
ship
over.
Is now bound for Quello Station.
Again, you can take as many times as you need to go through that obstacle course that we went through until you feel comfortable.
Let's take a moment to review the interface panels either side of your chair. The external panel is primarily used to interact with the galaxy around you. For example, you can access maps, display contracts, and review nearby objects. Meanwhile, the internal panel displays information about you and your ship. You can adjust module functions, check your records, and access the codex, among other things.
And you can do it. Anybody can do it if they just practice. Just take time to practice.
New
I've only
pilots
been...
often wonder what their first step into the galaxy should be. The Pilot's Handbook is a great source of help in this regard. It details a variety of professions and how to outfit your ship for them. The handbook also offers advice on various ship functions that aren't covered in this evaluation. You can find the Pilot's Handbook in the Codex, accessible on the home screen via the internal interface panel. The trails moving around you are FSD wakes. Your ship is also emitting one. The position of each correlates with their respective sensor display icons.
Yep. Those are ships, just like us in Super
In a
Cruise.
moment, we'll be going through the docking process. This will
Like
cover
that.
docking permissions and a standard landing pad approach.
And I've only been playing for about 6 months, so you can definitely do it. And I'm not the greatest at piloting and combat and all of that, so you can do it. Not that hard, just practice. And in my other account, I'm over 5 billion credits. So you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Welcome to Quello Station. This is the final stretch. You'll dock here shortly, but I'd like you to position your ship near the starport's access corridor first.
Need to be
Starports are
within
the backbone of
7.5
humanity's operations
kilometers.
throughout inhabited space. They provide mission boards, the commodities market, a number of specialized contacts, and various ship facilities. Most pilot business is conducted via the Starport Services interface. I recommend familiarizing yourself with this screen when docked.
And we're within 7.5. You see in front of us, it tells us how far we are from the station. And it'll show up in contacts in a moment for us to request docking. Yeah, they're wanting us to get closer to it. And at some point, he'll have us slow down.
Good. Ease off the throttle and hold position here. Oh, and try not to block the access corridor.
Looking for contacts for the station where it'll say request docking. And then we'll power down to 0 after we request docking. And they're wanting us to get to a stop, he said up there. We're at stop.
We'll be using the docking computer for this landing. You can always dock manually in future, of course, but practice in a training simulation first. Whichever method you use, all ships must seek docking permission before approaching a landing pad. To request docking permission, open your external interface panel and select the Contacts tab. Then select Quello Station in the list, followed by Request... Never mind.
Permission
You've got it.
authorized. Docking assist has been engaged.
You've been assigned landing
it'll
pad
be there.
3. The compass will point towards your designated pad. Ships need to be within 7.5 kilometers of a starport for a docking request to be considered.
And I like the Python. That's my favorite ship. It's a medium-sized ship. And during the beginnings, we'll work up to a Python. And I also have a Cutter, which is the most expensive ship. And it's like flying 4 747s all tied together. Very bulky, but tons of cargo space.
The docking computer will now demonstrate a safe landing procedure. Let's review what it's doing. Landing gear must be deployed. The related dashboard indicator lights up if this has been done.
Point at the 03 when you're manually flying, the 03, and do not go past it. And then you can start going down. So go toward that 03.
In a moment, the sensor display will switch to the precision approach display, which helps you accurately set belly down on the landing pad.
So you can go to the 03 and then start going down.
Docking procedure complete. Engaging pad restraints. Let's get your ship ready.
Congratulations, Commander. Your evaluation has been successful, and a license is being assigned to you as I speak. We just need to finalize your credentials. Enter the hangar to exit this evaluation. It's time to blaze your own trail across the galaxy. The manner in which you do so is up to you.
And I always pick the horizons because we're going to be doing some planetary landings. And I have to use my keyboard. And I have to keep, I'm using Oculus Rift VR, so I have to keep removing the headset to look at the keyboard. And I recommend a VR when you can afford one. It's very nice. I have the Oculus Rift S. And I like it. It's 4K. The Oculus Rift is 1080, and you will tell a big difference between them. 1080 is just not
Welcome
enough.
to your new ship, Commander. Your Pilot's Federation license has been issued, and you're free to traverse the galaxy as an independent pilot. Before launching for the first time, allow me to quickly introduce the basic interface for mission contracts. Almost all pilots will use the mission board at some stage. A contract has been assigned to you. Active missions are displayed in the Transactions tab of the external interface panel. This time you'll need to travel to Mawson Dock in the Dromi system. You can select these destinations on the navigation screen of the external interface panel. If you'd like to practice your journey
Galaxy
first,
map.
I recommend the training simulations accessed via the internal interface panel. To review what we've discussed, select your comms panel and scroll through the recorded text. I'll contact you at Mawson Dock if you decide to complete this mission. If you choose to take a different path, then I wish you luck, Commander.
You see that little world, that means you have a mission there. Mason Dock. We're going to select it. I said create a route for us. And if we look over here, it says the next jump is to Dromi. And this is a borrowed ship. And they assign you a permit. Now, warning about that. Let's go down the galaxy map. See these? They have the wings and the square boxes. Only go to those stations until you complete the level that they require before they kick you out. And then you can't come back. So stay within those systems. Do not go outside, because as soon as you go outside and land at a station, they kick you out of this area that has the winged markers on them. That's the Pilots Federation. So you want to stay within the Pilots Federation until we're ready to leave. Okay, we have a contract. Right now it's for 10,000 credits. To Mason. To Mason Dock. And we've set our course. And so we're going to jump there. And this will still be a part of part 1. Auto launch. I like auto launch. I don't like to have to do it manually. And at some point you can do it manually. You can turn off auto launch and auto docking.
Landing gear retracted.
Landing coupler disengaged. Departure authorized.
And after we deliver this cargo to Mason Dock, that will be the end of part 1. And rewind if necessary. Again, you can start completely over at this point. It's all fine. Now they make us be around 10,000 kilometers before they release us. Okay, they released us for 3.5, so you'll go to 0 in speed, and you don't want that because you could have ships behind you run into you. You see to the left of the radar, it kind of guides us to our target, which is Dromi. The stations and other ships will scan you at times to see what you have on board. You can go over to your inventory, and the cargo, we have no cargo. We only have 2 cargo spots. And our mission is just to go to Mason Dock. And when we jump there, it's only 60 light seconds from the star, so it's not too far. Try to avoid those that are in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousand light seconds away from the star. That could be bad. It'll take you a while to get there. See, we got just a little ways to go, about 2.5 kilometers before they'll release us. See, if we go above 100 right now, it'll show over above the fuel, it'll say speeding. And they can give you a speeding ticket. In my ship, I have in systems and engines, I have more and none in weapons.
Cleared the no-fire zone. Until next time, Commander.
See, at 10,000 kilometers, since I have no weapons on my main ships, I have all of the power going toward engines and systems. Okay, we're going to go to Dromey. So, familiar yourself how you're going to use your controls. If it's a keyboard, joysticks, HOTAS, if it's a VR and the controllers, how you're going to do that.
Frameshift drive charging.
See, I'm going into hyperspace. It's going, after it finishes charging, it will tell us to throttle up to engage.
Ready to engage.
Throttling up.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
It's fine, but at the star, when we drop out of hyperspace, do not accelerate until you're pointing away from the star. I had that issue when I first started. I don't want you to have that issue. See, we're fine, just move away from the star. Don't worry about our destination yet. Let's just get away from the star. So we'll accelerate a little bit, let the star go by. You see our temperatures were around 60 and now they're dropping. Now we can slowly move toward our target. Now our target is pretty close. So we can, let's go up here. Mason Dock, Super Cruise Assist. That's pretty good. We like Super Cruise Assist. You see, in the middle, I made the dot in the center go small. I zoomed out. I like to see more of the targets behind me and around me. And when you have to deal with pirates, you want to see where they're at. Now, you see on the radar, some are hollow and some are solid. Solid ones are computer generated. Hollow ones are people. Are supposedly people. They might make it look like people. But that would be a real person, like an open play, would have the hollow like that. Diamond meaning his weapons are deployed if it's a diamond. If it's a square, his weapons are stored. And when you get close to the station, they demand your weapons be stored. So on my regular ships, I have weapons where I have to use voice assist, or the voice attack. See, we're 9.5 away.
LAC, Romeo Golf Tango. Please comply with flight regulations as you approach the station, Commander.
So we have to get closer before we can ask for docking. We go to contacts, Mason's dock, and request dock, but you can't until you see the distance up there. We're at 7.9. It has to be 7.5 or less. So we're less. Request docking. Then take your throttle to 0. And then they take over.
Provision authorized. Prep for arrival on landing pad 4-3.
The computer has taken over.
Approved.
So you can just enjoy the ride. See that gray? That's someone that has already went into hyperspace or Super Cruise, and that's the wake that's left is gray. The flashing, they're coming in or going out of Super Cruise or hyperspace. And these are ships. The orange is unknown or not friendly. Greens are friendly, are supposed to be friendly to you, like security forces. But I've had security forces to interdict, and you'll learn what that means, to interdict you. And I've only had it once, and I did not submit. I went ahead and went to the station, because if they want to scan me or check me out, they need to do it at a station, not
Landing gear
after
deployed.
interdiction. Like toward that number where it said 43 and then down. That'll put you over the target. I usually go to the hangar first and then services.
From the menu in the center of your dashboard.
Contact. Commence
Then
system
select the mission
shutdown.
board from the General Services list on the left of the presented screen. You'll be able to hand in your assigned mission to the Pilots Federation representative here. This will formally complete the mission.
Okay, what I like to do is refuel. It's 30 credits. I like to go to advanced maintenance and set my integrity to 100%. Now they're charging us for it. Now I usually don't fix the paint job unless it gets below 99. So we only have 960 credits, but they're going to give us 10,000 for this mission. Go to the missions, and as you see at the top, out into the black, they're going to give us a reward of 10,000. So click on that.
Commander, you've proven that you can travel between systems and navigate the mission board. From this point on, you'll be choosing your own missions. A
See at the
variety of
top?
contracts are available throughout the galaxy that require a skilled pilot. Once again, there are training missions available to practice a variety of controls and challenges. The pilot's handbook, found in the internal interface panel, also provides a wealth of advice on most professions. I'll look forward to watching your progress, Commander. Make us proud. This is Theo Acosta, signing off.
See at the top there at the left, it says your commander name and it says how many credits you have. Started out with 1,000, now we have 10,960 is what we have. Our inventory, we have 0, but we carry 2. Now our goal is to get a ship that can carry more cargo. Let's get out of this. We can go to outfitting and we can check what we have, and it's showing our weapons. That's the hard points. It's loaned. This is a loan ship. These are empty. I like to have heat sinks because if you get something happen with the star and all of that, and we don't have any. Now shield boosters are good too. See how much they are. They're $10,000 each, or 10,000 credits. We don't have that yet, so we're going to have to wait. Our core, this is our bulkhead. Lightweight is good. You can go military, but they're awfully heavy and they reduce your jump range. The power plant, thrusters, life support, sensors, the fuel tank. Those are standard items. Eventually you'll want to use the engineers that you find with raw materials, manufactured materials, and encoded materials to upgrade your ship or upgrade the modules of your ship. You can take the modules with you. Now this is a planetary vehicle hangar. It has one slot, so you can have an SRV to land on the planet. And see, it's got 2 2s with the vehicle hangar. We're not going to do planetary right now. We could put on, let's just see what a cargo rack's going to cost. We can add 4, and we will do that. And we'll store the lone one. See, that gives us, we had 2 and we added 4. We got 6 cargo spaces, which is a good thing. We got 2 cargo here. We always want a docking computer. Planetary is where you can actually land on a planet. Super Cruise Assist. So that's good. we want to maximum out our cargo. And livery is where you can put on decals, paint jobs, all that other kind of stuff. Stored modules will have the planetary hangar in there because we put it into storage. Now you can transfer it from one station to another, but that costs. Or you can come back to this location to pick up the planetary vehicle hangar. Now, probably before we land on a planet, we'll upgrade to a bigger ship that has more cargo. Again, I'm into cargo transport and exploration. So my focus is not on fighting. And for me, to lighten the load on my ship, I'm going to store the weapons. Because you don't want to take on pirates until you're ready. You probably need to do advanced training, combat training, before you do that. So I'm going to store the weapons, and that frees up some weight. And you see retracted deployed from the maximum energy, it continues to go down. And below that is your jump range. Your minimum jump range is 8.8. Your medium, or what it is currently, is 10.54. And the maximum is 11.01, which is not very much. So you want to increase your jump range. And we'll go, especially with the engineers, we can go through how we can expand that at some point. So and as you see, insurance cost. When you buy your ship, they take out money or that's part of the cost toward insurance. So let's say we go out and we run into the star and die. We will respawn, and for 54 credits, they will give us this exact ship the way it's built, with the cargo racks and all of that, back to us at the nearest station, or it's the last station that you exited from, for 54 credits. Okay, I'm thinking that's it for part 1. And eventually we'll go through Universal Cartographics. You can make some money there. And we'll do that too. Passenger lounge. I haven't carried passengers, but you can definitely make money there. And the mission board, you can run missions. Now, I run strictly transport. You can do illegal, legal, combat, aid. I do transport. At first, I just want credits. We'll go through reputation and materials and commodities and influence and all that later. These are the only type of missions. Now, we're not going to select any yet. That'll be part 2. Source and return. That means you got to go to another station, and there's websites that you can go to that will help you find those commodities. So lithium, you have to buy 5 units and then deliver them to Drami, to this dock. So we're going to say back because we're not going to accept that yet. We won't accept that anyway. Now this is not bad. It's going to a station that's within the Federation, and if you deliver the 3 units of medicine, they'll pay you 23,000 credits. That's pretty good. And now units, let's say you die. On these 3 units, you will have to pay a fine if you die. And on a carrier job, you carry those when you respawn. So right now, the carrier jobs look pretty good, and they don't take up cargo space. And right now, our cargo space is 8. So this would take up 3. And that would take up 2. So you can take conflict training, but they don't give you any money for it. these carrier jobs are pretty good right now, and it raises your monies, and it raises, so you see combat rating of 0, trade rank of penniless, explorer rank of aimless, and as your rank increases, at some point they're going to kick us out of this Federation area. It's kind of a protected area. You're not going to get shot at yet, so that's pretty good. At one point I tried to restart where I could stay in this area, but no. At some point you rank high enough that the pirates come after you, so it doesn't help. Contacts, these are all of the ships that are in the area, and if you scan them long enough it will show information about them. And then the dock itself, transactions, all the transactions, your missions, your passengers, claims, fines, and bounties. And you can set what you're looking for: stars, asteroids, planets, landfall settlements, stations, especially stations, point of interest, and systems. So we definitely want those two. So now it's populated. There's two stations. There's a small station, that small ships and medium ships, and then there's Mason Dock, that's small, medium, and large ships. Now the size of ships they have here to buy are very limited. They have 6 ships. They have a Sidewinder. They have an Eagle, that would be more of a combat ship. They have a Hauler, that would be even more. You can carry more missions and make money that way. And the Adder's a really good mission ship. Now some of these cost like $87,000, and we'll go the trader way, so $52,000, so we can carry more cargo. And then the Viper, that's a really nice ship. I like that ship. It's $142,000, so we'd have to do quite a few missions. And the Cobra I've had before, and that's really nice, and it's $349,000. So we'll work our way up, and this The Beginnings series, and give you the options that I would take, but then you can vary from those options. You can have multiple ships and you can store them at different places, like these would be the ones stored here, and transfer the ships you have at other stations, and there's a fee if you want them transferred to the current station that you're at. So I think that covers most of the basics for now. In part 2 we'll go through more. So first I want to thank you for joining me for Elite Dangerous The Beginnings series, and hope you'll go with me on part 2. And also I have a series on my adventures, where instead of a balance of 6,700 credits, I have over 5 billion credits. I have a Python, which is an awesome ship, but it's about $50 million. And then I plus the add-ons, so you can multiply that probably by 5 times for the add-ons. And then I have a cutter that starts at 208 million, and again you'll spend close to $1 billion on that one to get it up to the jump range where it needs to be, and all the cargo spaces and the cargo racks and all of that. So we'll start working our way that direction. So that's what these videos are for, is to help you hopefully not make the mistakes that many, including myself, made when I first started. The only time I've ever died was like the second day that I played, and I haven't died since. So there is an ability to not die. So you don't have to worry about the rebuy. Like here, it says the rebuy cost there at the bottom left is 54 credits, and the balance of 6710. always have probably 3 or 4 times what your rebuy cost is in your balance. Don't use up all your money to where you don't have rebuy cost. Always have rebuy. I hope you'll subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I have new videos. That's how I get support from YouTube, and I really need your subscription. So I hope you'll do that, and you'll watch my other series. If you go to my channel, my YouTube channel, there you'll see playlists of each series that I have. I hope you'll go and watch all my series, including the Ultimate Fishing Simulator. I got 2 series there, the beginnings, like we're doing here, and also the fish of Ultimate Fishing Simulator. And then, as I said before, I have my adventures in Elite Dangerous and this new The Beginnings. So until next time, I hope you go with me, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate your watching. So until next time, bye-bye.